There is a man you have probably seen before. He is 58, 63, maybe even 70. He walks into a gym and people assume he is younger. Not because he is trying to look young, not because he spends 5 hours a day training, and not because he somehow escaped aging. It is because his body tells a completely different story. His shoulders are still strong, his waist is under control. He moves without looking fragile. He can climb stairs, carry heavy bags, get off the floor, and still feel physically capable. Meanwhile, some men his age have already accepted stiffness, shrinking muscles, increasing body fat, poor posture, and declining strength as simply what happens when you get older. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Age does not affect every man in the same way. 2 men can be born in the same year and have completely different physical realities at 60. One can feel 75. The other can look and move like he is living in another decade. And today, I'm going to show you why. I'm Claire Morgan, owner of Apex Forge, a channel dedicated to helping men over 50 build strength, confidence, discipline, presence, and a body that supports the life they still want to live. So if you're 50, 60, or 70, and you're tired of feeling stiff and tired, subscribe and join us. We create practical videos to help men our age stay strong, capable, confident, and independent. Now let's get into the 5 habits that create this completely different physical timeline. Number 1, he doesn't train to look young. He trains to stay capable. The first difference is psychological. The man with an unusually youthful physique usually isn't obsessed with looking 25. He is obsessed with remaining capable. That distinction changes everything. When a younger man trains, he may care primarily about bigger arms, a larger chest, visible abs, or lifting heavier numbers. But after 55, strength becomes much more valuable when it has a purpose. Can you carry your groceries? Can you climb stairs without stopping? Can you get out of a low chair without pushing yourself up with both hands? Can you get off the floor? Can you lift something safely? Can you walk for an hour without your body feeling destroyed afterward? These abilities are not glamorous, but they are the foundation of independence. And resistance training is one of the most powerful tools available for maintaining muscle strength and physical function as we age. The mistake many older men make is stopping because they believe they are too old to train hard. The smarter approach is to train intelligently. You don't need to destroy your joints. You don't need to copy a 25-year-old bodybuilder. You need progressive resistance, good technique, sufficient recovery, and consistency. Think about it this way. Your body is constantly adapting to the demands you place upon it. If you consistently demand strength, your body has a reason to preserve strength. If you consistently sit, avoid resistance, and stop challenging yourself, your body receives a very different message. And this leads directly to the second difference. Because training alone isn't enough. The man who looks young at 60 understands something most people learn far too late. You cannot out-train a lifestyle that destroys your recovery. Number 2, he treats recovery like part of the workout. This is where many ambitious men make a mistake. They believe more training automatically means more progress. But your muscles don't grow while you're lifting the weight. Training creates the stimulus. Recovery is where your body adapts. And as you get older, recovery deserves more respect. That doesn't mean you become fragile. It means you become strategic. A 25-year-old may occasionally get away with sleeping badly, training excessively, eating poorly, and repeating the process the next day. That doesn't mean it is optimal. But after 55, repeatedly ignoring recovery can become much harder to compensate for. Poor sleep, excessive training volume, chronic stress, and inadequate nutrition can all interfere with your ability to perform and recover. This is why the older man with the impressive physique often isn't the man doing the most. He is the man doing what he can consistently recover from. 3 intelligent training sessions every week can be more valuable than 6 chaotic sessions followed by exhaustion and 2 weeks of inconsistency. And recovery doesn't mean lying on the couch all day. Walking, mobility work, appropriate cardiovascular activity, good nutrition, and adequate sleep all contribute to the bigger picture. Here's something important. Your goal isn't to prove how much punishment your body can tolerate. Your goal is to create a body that can continue performing year after year. If you're watching this and you're over 50, ask yourself, are you training your body or are you constantly fighting against it? And if you want to keep up your grandkids, stay independent and reduce the chances that weakness controls your future, subscribe to Apex Forge. New videos every week are designed to help men stay strong and capable. But recovery is only half the equation, because you can train perfectly and still struggle to build a powerful physique if you're feeding your body like you're still 25. Number 3, he eats for muscle, not just for hunger. Here is one of the biggest differences between a man who maintains muscle after 55 and one who slowly loses it. He understands that nutrition has become part of his training. As people age, muscle can become less responsive to small amounts of dietary protein. This is one reason older adults often benefit from paying closer attention to protein intake and distributing protein-rich foods across meals. And this doesn't mean you need some extreme diet. It means your meals need a purpose. A quality source of protein, vegetables and fruit, appropriate carbohydrates for your activity, healthy fats, enough total calories for your goals, and enough water. Simple, but powerful. Consider 2 men. Both are 60. Both lift weights 3 times a week. But one finishes training and spends the rest of the day eating mostly processed snacks, skipping meals, and barely consuming protein. The other consistently eats balanced meals with adequate protein and nutrients. Over months and years, their bodies may respond very differently. This is why the man with the youthful physique doesn't necessarily have a secret supplement. He has boring consistency. He doesn't need every meal to be perfect. He needs his overall pattern to be good. And if you're trying to lose fat while preserving muscle, don't make the mistake of simply eating as little as possible. Extreme restriction can make maintaining lean mass more difficult. The objective isn't simply to become lighter, it's to become leaner, stronger, and more functional. That distinction matters, because a smaller body isn't automatically a healthier or more capable body. You want muscle, you want strength, you want cardiovascular fitness, you want mobility, and you want enough energy to actually enjoy your life. But there is another piece that most people underestimate. Even with excellent training and nutrition, your body can still begin moving like an older man's body if you stop practicing movement. And that brings us to number 4. Number 4, he trains movement, not just muscles. Look at a man who appears remarkably young for his age. Don't just look at his arms. Watch him walk. Watch how he stands. Watch how he gets out of a chair. Watch how he turns. Watch how he reaches overhead. Watch how he carries something. You will often notice something before you notice his muscles. He moves well. This is important because fitness isn't just about muscle size. It's about what your body can do with that muscle. A powerful chest doesn't help much if your shoulders hurt every time you reach overhead. Strong legs don't mean much if you are afraid to get down onto the floor. A muscular back doesn't guarantee good balance. Your training should therefore include more than traditional bodybuilding movements. Strength work matters, but so do walking, balance, mobility, coordination, posture, and cardiovascular fitness. You don't need an elaborate routine. You might practice controlled squats to a safe depth, carry manageable weights, perform rows, use appropriate presses, walk regularly, practice standing on one leg near something stable. Move your hips, ankles, shoulders, and spine through comfortable ranges. The objective is not to perform circus tricks. It's to keep your body familiar with movement, because the less you use certain physical abilities, the less confident you can become using them. And that creates a dangerous cycle. You move less because you feel stiff. You become stiffer because you move less. You become weaker because you avoid demanding activities. Then you avoid even more activities because you feel weak. The man who breaks that cycle early can maintain a dramatically different quality of life. And now we reach the 5th point, arguably the most important one. Because all 4 previous habits can fail if you don't have this. The man over 55 with a youthful physique isn't necessarily lucky, and he isn't necessarily blessed with perfect genetics. What makes him different is usually the accumulation of decisions. He keeps challenging his muscles. He respects recovery. He eats enough quality nutrition to support his body. He practices movement instead of becoming sedentary. And most importantly, he refuses to mentally retire before his body actually needs him to. You don't have to look 30. You don't have to chase the body you had at 25. You don't need to spend your entire life inside a gym. Your goal is something much more valuable: to remain strong enough to live without constantly negotiating with your body. Strong enough to carry. Strong enough to climb. Strong enough to travel. Strong enough to play with your grandchildren. Strong enough to stand on your own. Strong enough to look in the mirror and know that you didn't simply accept decline. You participated in your own future. And remember this: you cannot stop the calendar, but you can influence what the calendar does to your body. If this video changed the way you think about aging, subscribe to Apex Forge. I'm Claire Morgan, the owner of Apex Forge, where we help men over 50 build strength, confidence, discipline, physical presence, and the kind of body that allows them to remain capable and independent as they age. And I want to hear from you. What is the one physical ability you refuse to lose as you get older? Is it strength, walking without pain, getting up from the floor, carrying your own bags, keeping a strong physique, or being able to keep up with your grandchildren? Tell me in the comments. And if you know another man over 50 who needs to hear this, send him this video. If you're serious about becoming stronger, sharper, and harder to break with age, subscribe to Apex Forge and stay with us. I'm Claire Morgan, and remember, age is a number. Strength is a decision.